Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Thursday. Okay, guys, so tomorrow we have hot, messy topics, which I'm always very excited about. But in the meantime, we have some under investigating to talk about. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're still playing with lights and all of this other stuff. There's 5 million other things going on right now. So I'm just like, as long as I'm showing my face on here, I'm going to get to this, but I got to get to that. And you guys know what I mean. So, anyways, before we jump in, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And also, don't forget, it is my birthday coming up July 6th. So, that's going to be on Saturday, July 6th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern at Lamar's in downtown Charleston off of King Street. So, hopefully, you guys can join us. But let's jump right in.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
All right, guys, before we get into it, you know where this is going. Everyone's always asking me about my skincare routine. And as you guys know, number 7, everything except for my tool, my go-to face tool. It's called Blue Mean. So with the press of a button, it has different settings. But the best part is it uses these little micro currents that feel sort of like a massage, actually. But it lifts, rejuvenates, illuminates, and takes all the inflammation out of your skin, which is so nice. And it has a timer on it. Best part is normally it's $150, but if you click on my link in the description or in the comment section pinned, you get $70 off. Let's get into this, shall we? Oy, Teresa Giudice, Bo Dietl, Louis. Thank you to Taste of Reality. Teresa Giudice's husband, Louis Ruelas, along with private investigator Bo Dietl, are being investigated for fraud against a previous romantic partner of Louis', which we've talked a little bit about, but more information's coming out. The Real Housewives of New Jersey personalities face multiple charges against them. Now, for context, Instagram's at the Pink Pop Box gave insight into Louis and Bo's misdoings. A psychiatrist Louis used to date was allegedly taken advantage of by, I guess, Louis and Bo. A woman entered the psychiatrist's office posing as a domestic violence victim. It's believed that Louis and Bo hired the woman to scam Louis' psychiatrist girlfriend. Upon the alleged DV victims, domestic violence victims' arrival to the practice, the psychiatrist's computer was compromised. Allegedly, the woman working for Louis and Bo dropped names, which is how the scam was traced back to them. Now, the podcaster continued with, subpoenas have all gone out. There's no getting around it. If this case wins, against Louis and Bo, it can go federal. And if they're proven in a civil case, a federal case will be instantly a thing. Now, the legal jargon. Defendants did so with criminal, reckless, malicious, fraudulent intent, divides to fraud plaintiff, and cover their own misdeeds related to their efforts as attorney-client private investigators to send undercover investigators to use subterfuge, dissemination, and other fraudulent pretexts to continue defendant Louis A. Ruelas' campaign, harassment, and abuse against a previous romantic partner, and took files, both private and professional, in mass from those computers illegally accessed by the same. Now, because Bo is a retired NYPD police detective, he faces more consequences than Louis. In addition to the enumerated actions below, which I'm going to share with you, defendants, I guess this one specifically is Bo, did so in violation of the license requirements as issued by the New York State Department of State and New Jersey State Police. Now, the charges. Oy, oy, oy. Let me just say before we get into the charges, this is some shit, and this is probably not what you want going on in your life, especially right now. I'm just saying this is some shit, and you probably didn't want this on your bingo card, but it's on your bingo card, but you didn't want it there, and I get it. And if he ends up getting in trouble for this, then yeah, this could be federal time. This could be time in prison. This could be another one of Teresa Giudice's husbands going to prison. Then I would feel like I had a freaking curse. Back to it. Let's name off the charges. There's 5. 1, for violation of the Federal Wiretap Act. 2, for violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act pursuant to its granting of a private of action wherein plaintiffs suffered a loss or damage. 3, for violations of the Stored Communications Act. 4, for violation of the Electronic Communication Privacy Act. And finally, 5, for violations of end of NY Penal Code. So what this tells me is that there's a long road ahead. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say that there's a long road ahead, and we are going to see exactly how this is going to play out, especially because this is going to be highly publicized if, in fact, they're not able to settle to some extent. And to be honest with you, his ex has been very vocal, Vanessa Reiser. She's been so vocal about how women shouldn't put up with things like this and how she's been helping other women who, or I guess anyone who's been through a situation where they feel like the partner was abusive. So because she does that for her work, I would automatically assume that she's going to take this to task as far as she can. And she is going to make them pay if at all. If that's possible and she can make them pay, she is going to make them pay. But anyways, moving on. Speaking of paying or not paying, really. Thank you to Reality Blurb. Things seem to be going well for Cynthia Bailey as she's returning to the show as a friend of for season 16. However, this is not the case for Peter Thomas. The former Atlanta husband recently revealed that he's facing years in prison over unpaid taxes related to his several restaurants and nightclub businesses. Now, anyone who follows Peter will know that this isn't the first time he's had issues with his businesses. In the recent past, he's been accused of not paying employees and in general not being the most, astute businessman. Recently, the landlord for one of the Bar One restaurants sued Peter for unpaid rent and various fees, and he was ordered to pay $9 million. And now, In Touch Weekly has obtained court documents that show Peter failed to pay the proper taxes between 2017 and 2022. However, the story gets worse. The taxes Peter did not pay were trust fund taxes from the wages of his employees. According to the documents, the former Real Housewives of Atlanta star collected in excess of $640,000 from his employees, but didn't turn it over to the IRS. Now, the court filing also says that he collected about $1.1 million in trust fund taxes from employees at Bar One Miami Beach and Bar One Baltimore locations, but failed to pay it to Uncle Sam. Overall, between 2017 and 2023, the businessman failed to pay $2.5 million in employee taxes. And allegedly, instead of paying the taxes, Peter used the money for purposes such as cash withdrawals, travel, real estate purchases, and retail purchases. Now, Peter has one count of failure to pay trust fund taxes. He could face up to 5 years in prison for this. And there's also the possibility of a $250,000 fine and 3 years of supervised release. But you can see Peter ended up giving a statement. Actually, let me just go ahead and share the statement because at this point, why not? This is Peter's statement.
Good afternoon, social media world, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc., etc. All right, I'm here to make a statement. My attorney and I have been working on a case for the last 2.5 years now, and it came in on where I'm putting out this statement. I must have to apologize to my mom, my dad that's passed, and my kids, my friends, immediate family members, and anybody out there that checked for me. I did some wrong that I have to make right. I have to stand up. I have to be accountable. I have to be responsible, and I have to pay my debt. For 2.5 years ago, the IRS started a case that went back 10 years and showed that from one struggling business to the next and the next, that I'd failed to pay my withholding taxes on time. And at some point when the business wasn't doing well, failed to pay at all. And it's something that I thought I could work out, catch up with, make hold. But the hole got deeper for me. So I deeply regret, deeply, and I'm saying this with all sincerity, I deeply regret not to make the IRS withholding tax a priority.
I mean, honestly, this happens to people all the time. I'm not even going to sit there and go in on him over that. It happens all the time. And people make mistakes. We see it with a lot of reality TV stars where they get 1099. They get these fat paychecks for $1 million, but they still have to pay taxes. And sometimes they'll get $1 million. Think about it like this, like Kenya Moore getting $1 million. Now, 30% of that is going to taxes. So that's 300,000, then 700,000, right? That's what's left. But the agent gets 15% of the original $1 million. So then that's 150,000. So 700,000 minus 150, that's 550,000. Then I think that there's a few more things that come out. But my point is that there's a lot of fees. So then I think that that's why they're like, oh, can we pay this? I don't know. I want to hear what you guys think, especially about the Teresa Louis Bodito thing. Pop off in the comment section. Smash that like button. If you haven't, go ahead, get subscribed. Love you guys. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to check out the link for Blooming. Love you.